The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of the adventures of Superman without the caped crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of false accusations, plenty of heated interrogations, and wacky plans galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, we proudly conclude George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, and we begin with Chapter 15, as originally broadcast on September 23rd, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, present
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Governor Wheeler, Clark Kent's only proof against the deliberate plot of racial discrimination, lies near death. Vicious hate-monger George Latimer's planted victim of a supposed attack by several ex-GIs.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, you like it fine when you get a present, don't you? In fact, you probably agree that the more presents, the merrier, right? Well then, gang, you'll really go for the 49 different prizes you can get in packages of Kellogg's Pep. You'll get a bang out of all three kinds of these swell prizes. First off, it's mighty exciting to see which one you'll get in your next Pep package. Maybe it's a bright-colored comic button picturing a favorite comic strip character, 18 in all to collect and to pin on your jacket or your beanie cap. Or maybe it's a bird picture in gleaming color with a full description on the reverse side. You can collect 24 of them. Or maybe your next Pep prize will be one of 7 colored cardboard plane models, a cinch to put together. Yes, sir, and that makes 49 different prizes you can collect from packages of Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. While all the time you can be enjoying breakfast with those crunchy golden whole wheat flakes of Pep. Flakes that are golden toasted, all crisp and catchy tasting as you spoon them up. Is Pep a treat? So ask Mom to get you Kellogg's Pep tomorrow and look for your prize inside the package.
And now, the adventures of Superman. Convinced by Clark Kent that Big George Latimer, the state political boss, was not only waging a vicious campaign to spread racial and religious intolerance, but that he is a murderer as well, Governor Wheeler agreed to cooperate with Kent in an attempt to trap Latimer into a confession. But Kent and Wheeler were unaware that John Briggs, the governor's secretary, was a spy for Latimer, and that he had reported their plan to him. Alone with the governor, Latimer attacked him and placed his unconscious body in the driveway. A short time later, as Kent waited at the Daily Planet for a phone call from Wheeler, news wires were burned up with a flash announcement.
Capitol Square. Governor Frank C. Wheeler is near death in the gubernatorial mansion following an attack by a group of war veterans, all of whom were captured.
As we continue now, Clark Kent has arrived at the governor's mansion and is admitted to the state executive's spacious study. Several uniformed patrolmen stand guard over a dozen angry war veterans as Inspector Henderson of the Metropolis Police, who has arrived to take over the case, questions Big George Latimer. Kent stands quietly by and listens.
You say you were with the governor before he went downstairs to speak to the veterans, Mr. Latimer?
That's right, Inspector. I was in his library with him on the second floor, from which we could see the veterans outside the gates on Charles Street. They were carrying signs accusing the governor, of discrimination in awarding state jobs. Their accusations were entirely false, I might add.
Now, you men will have to stop interrupting or I'll order you jailed at once. Is that clear? You'll get a chance to speak your piece later. Go ahead, Mr. Latimer.
Well, the governor was deeply disturbed, as he has been ever since these accusations began.
I shouldn't wonder.
He called in Briggs' secretary. and told him to ask the veterans to come into the grounds to the side door. He wanted to talk to them. Briggs came back in a few minutes and said the men were coming. The governor excused himself and went downstairs.
You didn't go with him?
No. I stayed in the library with Briggs.
I see.
A moment later, we heard loud voices outside. I heard the governor's voice over them. He was saying, "Please, boys, give me a chance. Listen to me."
You mean he was saying that to us?
I don't know to whom he was speaking, but suddenly I heard him cry out. He sounded in pain. I said, "Good heavens, Briggs, I'm afraid the governor's in trouble." That's when I phoned the state troopers. Then as Briggs and I ran downstairs to the side door, the trooper's car was already coming through the gates.
What did you see when you got downstairs?
Frank, the governor, was lying unconscious just outside the door on the side drive. A group of men was standing over him.
Sure, we found him lying there when we arrived.
Quiet, please.
Mr. Latimer, would you recognize any of the men if you saw them again?
Yes, of course, Inspector. There they are. Over there, across the room.
Are you going to swallow that phony story, Inspector? It's a pack of lies.
Quiet,
Quiet, but he's trying to say we attacked the governor.
We didn't. We found him lying there.
Quiet, please.
Quiet.
You'll have to be quiet. I'm warning you for the last time. Briggs.
Yes, Inspector?
Mr. Latimer says you were with him when he phoned the state troopers and then discovered Governor Wheeler in the drive. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You're prepared to swear to that in court?
Why, yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Do you have anything to add to his story?
No, sir. He told it just the way it happened.
Can you identify these men as the ones who were standing over the governor's body?
Why, yes, sir. And they're the same ones I told to come to the side door to see the governor.
Okay, quiet, please. That's all. Corporal Wilkes.
Right here, Inspector.
Colonel Reed has given me permission to question you.
Very good, sir.
Now, I understand you received a phone call at the state police barracks from Mr. Latimer around midnight. Is that right?
That's right, sir. Mr. Latimer said he thought the governor was in trouble. I organized a detail of 3 troopers and came here with them at once.
How long did it take you to get here from your barracks?
Not more than a few minutes, sir. We're just down the street, you know.
Uh-huh. What did you find?
We found Governor Wheeler lying in the side drive. He was unconscious, apparently from a blow on the back of the head. A group of men were gathered around him, and I discovered later they were the war veterans who had been picketing the Capitol.
Can you identify them as the group of men in this room?
Yes, sir. We detained them as the men who had attacked the governor.
Mr. Framer! That's a lie! We're being framed just the way Sam Robbins was.
Just a moment, I said. Will you please be quiet?
May I ask Corporal Wilkes a question, Inspector?
Sure, go ahead, Kent.
Thanks. Did you go through this house after you arrived, Corporal?
No, sir. Briggs had already called the doctor, so we carried Governor Wheeler up to his bedroom. Then we came back downstairs to this room here.
I see. Thank you. Would you mind stepping outside with me a moment, Inspector?
Oh, what for?
Well, it's quite important. Please.
Well, okay. Oh, everybody stay here till I get back. Riley, keep an eye on these men.
Oh, yes, sir.
Come on, Inspector.
Okay. Now, what is it, Kent? This looks like a cut-and-dried case to me.
Sure. That's the way Big George Latimer wants it to look.
But these veterans have been red-hot at Governor Wheeler. He probably said something to them tonight that made them blow their tops, and one of them socked him.
Well, if you'll come upstairs to the library with me, Inspector, I'll tell you a quick story and show you something. Here's where I planted the microphone, Inspector. I clamped it to the wall behind this American flag and led a wire to a recording machine in the next room.
Yeah, well, I don't see any microphone.
Of course you don't. It's gone now. And the only persons who could have removed it are either Latimer or Briggs.
Latimer or Briggs?
Sure. Except for the governor, they were the only 2 persons in the house when I left. Now, my theory is that Latimer found out about the recorder and our scheme to trap him into a confession, slugged the governor, and framed the GIs for it, just the way he framed Sam Robbins for the Joe Martin shooting.
Now, wait a minute, Kent. How could Latimer have found out?
One way could have been through Briggs.
You mean the governor's secretary?
Right. If Briggs is working for Latimer, he could have told him the governor had asked me to come here, and he could have even overheard our conversation.
Wait a minute. Hold everything. Why would Latimer want to put Governor Wheeler out of the way?
Well, that's just what I was starting to tell you, Inspector. You see, I happen to know the governor finally rebelled at Latimer's orders to practice racial and religious discrimination in awarding state jobs. And from something Latimer let drop, he agreed with me that Big George had framed Sam Robbins and had murdered Lippy Williams, the Clarion reporter.
Holy smokes. The governor believed that?
Yes. That's why he agreed to cooperate with me in trying to trap Latimer into a confession.
Of course, you couldn't take me into your confidence.
Well,
You've always got to do these things on your own, don't you?
Sorry, but believe me, there wasn't time to work any other way, Inspector.
Well, even if you're right, you'll never prove it now. The governor is dying. And from where I sit, It looks as if his murder will be pinned on the GIs.
We can't let that happen, Inspector. We can't let Latimer crucify the war veterans on his cross of bigotry and intolerance.
That's a pretty speech, but it's too late now. Maybe next time you'll come to me when you get a lead. Yes, what is it, Riley?
The governor's doctor just sent down for you and Mr. Kent, Inspector. He said for you to get to the governor's bedside as quick as you can.
Uh-oh. That sounds bad. Come on, Kent.
Is he gone? On the contrary, Inspector. He's suddenly taken a turn for the better.
He has?
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's practically a miracle. We can't be certain that he'll recover, but he has a good chance.
Fine.
However, before I issue a bulletin, I wanted to speak to you gentlemen. Because when the governor was conscious for a moment, he asked for you two. Said it was very important.
He did, eh?
Yes. I'm certain he'll regain consciousness again in a few moments. I suggest you wait right here.
You bet we'll wait. If he does come to, he'll be able to tell us who tried to murder him.
Tensely, Clark Kent and Inspector Henderson wait just outside Governor Wheeler's bedroom, where the state's chief executive lies unconscious, surrounded by 3 physicians and a nurse. We'll return in a moment for the climax of today's episode, so stand by.
Say, gang, just suppose you were trying Kellogg's Pep for the first time. Here's what would probably happen. You'd see those crisp, golden, cheery flakes of whole wheat in your breakfast bowl, and right off, you'd dig your spoon in to sample Pep's flavor. Then a little smile would sprout on your face, because Pep has a way of tickling your taste. You take another spoonful, and another, to make sure all that catchy, super delicious flavor was real. Well, it's real all right. It's terrific. And you know, every time you eat Pep, it pleases your taste just that way. Sure, just as you get a happy surprise every time you open your package of Kellogg's Pep for the prize inside. 3 different kinds of prizes you can get, and each one a honey. For instance, you'll get either a colored cardboard model of a fighting plane, one of 7 in the Great Pep Air Fleet, or you'll get one of 24 beautiful color pictures of birds with a full description on the reverse side so you can identify these birds anywhere. Or else you'll get a bright-colored comic button picturing one of 18 comic strip characters to pin on your jacket or your beanie cap. So start collecting all 3 kinds of swell prizes in Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal.
As our story continues, Dr. Ross, the governor's personal physician, has just summoned Clark Kent and Inspector Henderson to the bedside.
The governor is regaining consciousness, gentlemen.
Clark Kent. Send for him. And for Inspector Henderson.
I'm right here, Governor.
Oh, good. Glad to see you. You too, Inspector.
Who did this to you, Governor?
Big George Latimer.
What? I knew it. Come over here, Inspector. I want to tell you something, an idea that just occurred to me.
Well, that'll wait. You come on downstairs with me, Kent. I'm going to arrest Latimer so fast.
No, wait, Inspector. You can't arrest him.
I can't, huh?
No.
Will you just watch me?
Listen, will you? If you arrest him, we may never be able to prove anything against him.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
You just heard Wheeler say Latimer tried to murder him, didn't you?
Yes, but it's only the governor's word against 2 others, Latimer and Briggs. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, but...
Of course it is. There's only one way to get the goods on Latimer, Inspector. Only one.
What's that?
For Latimer to think Governor Wheeler is dead.
Scowling puzzledly, Inspector Henderson stares at Clark Kent. What does Kent mean? Apparently, Kent, who as we know is Superman, has a plan to prove Big George Latimer the cunning man of hate, guilty of his many crimes. What is Kent's plan? We'll find out tomorrow in one of the most fascinating and exciting episodes you've ever heard. So be sure to be with us. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. You know, gang, you never forget a famous name, like Kellogg, the greatest name in cereals. Kellogg brightens up breakfast with Kellogg shredded wheat. 15 crisp, tender biscuits in every package. There's loads of natural nut-sweet flavor in toasty Kellogg shredded wheat. Loads of fine nutrition, too. It's whole wheat. And these plump, delicious biscuits are just the right size, made to fit the bowl. Try 'em soon. Ask Mom for Kellogg shredded wheat. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents chapters 16 and 17 of George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, which was originally broadcast on September 24th and 25th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Clark Kent reveals a daring and amazing plan which he hopes will result in trapping Big George Latimer, the man of hate.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, I hope you're not going to let anybody outsmart you when it comes to the number of different prizes you collect from packages of Kellogg's Pep. No, sir, because you can collect all 3 kinds of Pep prizes as easy as anything. And there are 49 different prizes in all. For instance, maybe the prize in your next package of Pep will be one of those keen, full-color pictures of birds. There are 24 to collect from, each with a full description on the reverse side. And by swapping duplicates with a gang, you can help complete your collection. Or, if your next Pep prize happens to be a colored cardboard model of a fighting plane, remember, you can collect from 7 planes in Pep's great air fleet. Or you may get one of 18 different bright-colored comic buttons, each picturing a famous comic strip character. All 3 kinds of Pep prizes are top-notch to go with the terrific flavor of Kellogg's Pep. I mean strictly terrific. Why, that catchy taste, that Pep flavor is really out of this world. Every spoonful of those crisp golden flakes of whole wheat tastes downright wonderful. So for prize eating and surprise prizes, ask Mom to get you Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal.
Now, the adventures of Superman. Learning that Clark Kent and Governor Wheeler suspected him of committing murder in his secret campaign to spread racial and religious intolerance, and that they planned to trap him into a confession, Big George Latimer, the state political boss, attempted to kill the governor and frame a group of war veterans for his crime. But unknown to Latimer, the governor regained consciousness and told Kent and Inspector Henderson what had occurred. Henderson wished to arrest Latimer at once, but Kent stopped him, saying,
You arrest Latimer now, Inspector. You'll put him on his guard. Then we'll never be able to prove anything against him.
Are you out of your mind, Kent?
No.
You just heard Governor Wheeler say that Big George Latimer tried to murder him, didn't you?
All right, but it's only the governor's word against the word of 2 others, Latimer and Briggs. We have no proof. But I know one way to get the goods on Big George.
Yeah? And what's that?
For him to think Governor Wheeler is dead.
As we continue now outside Governor Wheeler's sick room in the gubernatorial mansion, Inspector Henderson stares blankly at Kent, then demands,
Say that again, Kent?
I said the only way we can get the goods on Latimer is by making him believe Governor Wheeler is dead.
What in thunder are you talking about?
Look, Inspector, I'm certain Latimer shot Joe Martin and framed Sam Robbins for the shooting, but I have no proof. And I'm certain he did away with Lippy Williams, the Clarion reporter who helped him frame Sam.
Yeah, but you have no proof of that either.
Right. And now we know Latimer tried to murder Governor Wheeler. But it's only Wheeler's word against Latimer and Latimer's man, Briggs. Now, you know a jury won't bring in a conviction on that.
Oh, I guess they won't. And against Latimer, particularly in this state.
Of course they won't. What we've got to do is to get a confession from Latimer.
Oh, sure, fine. That's all we have to do, huh? I suppose we just bring him pen and paper and say, if you don't mind, Mr. Latimer, just sign here so we can strap you into the electric chair.
No, be serious, Inspector. I think I know how to get a confession from him.
Well, I think you're nuts, but go ahead. I'm listening.
All right. This is what I have in mind. First, we get the cooperation of Governor Wheeler.
Latimer. It's my sad duty to inform you that Governor Wheeler is dead.
What?
Yes, he died just a few minutes ago.
The governor dead? Oh, no, Inspector.
I'm sorry, Mr. Latimer.
Poor Frank. Off in his prime. With a brilliant career ahead of him.
Yes, tough, all right, Mr. Latimer. I know how you must feel.
Thank you, Kent. Frank gone, I can't quite believe it. We were so very close for many years. Well, I must go up to pay my respects. By the way, Inspector, those GIs, what are you going to do about them?
Lock them up, of course. They'll have to stand trial for murder.
I wish that wasn't necessary.
What do you mean?
Well, those men fought for their country. They may even be suffering from battle fatigue. I'm sure that what they did tonight was unpremeditated. Brought on, perhaps...
That's no excuse, Mr. Latimer.
No, I suppose not. But I still can't help wishing it could be avoided. Well, I must go up and pay my last respects to my old friend, Frank Wheeler. Good night, gentlemen. Thank you for your expressions of sympathy.
Good night.
See you again, Mr. Latimer.
Yeah, he's sorry. A dirty hypocrite.
I hope you told the doctor not to let Latimer get too close to the governor.
Don't worry. The doctor understands.
Okay.
Besides, Wheeler's under an opiate.
Oh, good.
You couldn't tell from a quick glance that he's alive.
What did the doctor say about tomorrow?
He said tomorrow afternoon ought to be okay. The later, the better.
All right. I'll need some time to make arrangements. Suppose you meet me here at 5 in the afternoon.
I'll be here, but I still don't think you can put it over, Kent.
We've got to put it over. Unless we get Latimer by the heels, we'll see more bloodshed and riots and lynchings in this state. Meet me here to talk with the governor at 5 o'clock, Inspector. And keep your fingers crossed. Now, Governor Wheeler, you understand what you're to do, don't you?
You want me to read this stuff you've written into this microphone?
That's right. It'll be transcribed on a record.
I see, but my voice is pretty weak today.
That'll be all the better. You'll sound more like a ghost. Ready, Inspector Henderson?
Ready. I tell you again, it'll never work, Kent. Latimer is too smart to fall for hocus-pocus like this.
That's where you're wrong. Every criminal has fear in his heart, and the cleverer he is, the more fear he has of what he can't see, of the unknown.
Never mind the psychology lesson. Getting late, and we've got a lot to do before midnight. Let's get started.
Right. Ready, Governor Wheeler?
Ready.
Good. I give you the signal. Start talking. Turn it on, Inspector.
Check.
Okay, Governor. Give it all you've got.
George Latimer. Listen to me, George Latimer. You're surprised to hear my voice, aren't you? You thought you'd never hear...
Hello?
Is that you, Mr. Latimer?
Yeah, who's this?
Briggs, I hope you weren't asleep.
I was. What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. What's the matter?
Why, nothing. I guess...
Yes, I know. You're nervous, huh?
Well...
Sure you are. Nothing to be nervous about. Everything's fine, just fine.
I guess...
Oh, stop worrying. Everything's fine, I tell you. Wheeler's dead, so he can't talk. The GIs are in pretty bad with the law.
Sure, I know, but it just... Well, the papers are so full of the story, and you can't turn on the radio without hearing about it.
Naturally. Frank was governor. There'll be a lot of fuss for a day or two, then it'll die down. Forget it. I tell you, we haven't a thing to worry about.
I sure hope so, but every time I feel a little secure, I get to thinking about that reporter, Clark Kent.
What about him?
He's smart, Mr. Latimer. He figured out everything that happened up to... Well, you know, this evening.
So what? He couldn't prove it, could he?
He almost did.
They don't pay off an almost. Now that Frank's gone, Kent will never prove anything. So relax, Briggs. There isn't a thing to worry about.
Well, if you're sure...
I'm telling you, go to bed. Everything's wonderful. Good night, Briggs.
Good night, Mr. Latimer.
Good evening, Inspector.
Superman. Hey, where did you come from?
Clark Kent told you I'd meet you here, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right, but it gave me a bit of a turn seeing you drop out of nowhere like that.
Sorry if I startled you. Ah, see, you've got the little record player with you.
Yes, and the record. Now, how do you propose to work this shindig?
You see that tall apartment building facing the park?
Yeah.
Big George Latimer occupies the 2 upper floors on the park side, a duplex apartment. His bedroom is on the top floor. There's a small terrace on the lower floor with a lot of shrubs and potted trees. You'll be able to watch the fun from there and hear everything. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be for a crazy stunt like this.
Okay, up with you. You all set?
All set.
Up to that terrace. Up and away! Leaping from the Metropolis Park with Inspector Henderson, Superman soars up to the swank apartment home. Then alights on the dark terrace below Big George Latimer's bedroom. We'll return in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode. So stand by.
You know, gang, your day's fun starts even before breakfast if you can look forward to a bowl of Kellogg's Pep. Because Pep is so doggone terrific tasting, it's fun just to think about eating it. And then when you do dig into those crisp golden flakes of Pep, you enjoy the real thing. A regular fun feast. Yes, sir, I don't know anything even half as good as that catchy full wheat flavor. That strictly Pep flavor, meaning strictly super. And super is also the word for the prize you find in every Pep package. 3 different kinds of prizes, one or the other in every package you open. For instance, it might be a model fighting plane in colored cardboard, one of 7 great Pep model planes you can collect. Or maybe it'll be one of 24 new full-color bird pictures with a description on the reverse side so that you'll know these birds in the air. Or it could be one of 18 bright-colored comic buttons picturing a famous comic strip character to pin on your beanie cap or your jacket. So start collecting all 3 kinds of these slick Pep prizes. Today, ask Mom for a supply of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal.
On the small, dark terrace beneath Big George Latimer's apartment, Inspector Henderson watches as Superman prepares to slip quietly into Latimer's bedroom, carrying a small record player. Wish me luck, Inspector.
You'll need plenty of it, Superman. I can't see Latimer falling for this.
You're going to be surprised, I hope. Oh, here goes. Keep your ears open.
I will.
Up to his window. Up! There's Latimer in his bed, sleeping as if he didn't have a care in the world. Well, maybe this record will put the fear of the Lord into him. Better get set on his windowsill first. There. Now to set the record going. There.
George Latimer. Listen to me, George Latimer. You're surprised to hear my voice, aren't you?
Who's there?
You thought you'd never hear it again, didn't you?
Who's there?
You thought you got rid of me forever, didn't you, George?
Frank!
You thought when you killed me that you were safe, that no one would ever discover what you'd done.
Frank Wheeler!
You didn't
No,
believe
can't
dead
be.
men could come back to haunt you, did you, George?
But how?
If you'd believed that, perhaps you wouldn't have killed me.
But I...
And Lippy Williams, the Clarion reporter.
I'm dreaming. I must be dreaming.
Sitting rigidly upright in his bed, his gray hair tousled and his breath whistling between his lips, Big George Latimer stares wide-eyed into the frightening darkness of his bedroom, in which rings the voice of Frank Wheeler, whom he thinks is dead. Fighting his fear, the despotic hate-mongering politician shouts that he is being tricked. Will he maintain his belief, as Inspector Henderson believes, and once again foil Superman and the powers of right and justice? Or will he crack open and confess? Crazed with fear, he seizes a revolver from his bed table and fires blindly at the figure of Superman silhouetted in the window. But of course, Superman is unhurt, and the eerie, flooded voice of Governor Wheeler continues, striking terror into the heart of the vicious political boss.
You wanted to discredit the war veterans who wanted jobs.
No.
So you shot Joe Martin and said that Sam Robbins, a Jewish war hero, did it.
But
Isn't that so, George?
Yes, I did.
You
Now
had
go away,
Lippy
Frank, please.
Williams, the Clarion
Please go away.
reporter, plant your gun in Sam Robbins' home.
But I didn't mean...
And then because Lippy knew too much, you murdered him,
But
too. Didn't you,
Please,
George?
Frank, please.
Your black heart cried out for blood, so you persuaded me to send Sam Robbins upstate.
That isn't true.
Where you had arranged for other warp-minded bigots like
No.
yourself to lynch him.
That isn't true.
Didn't you, George? Didn't you?
Yes. I told you I did. What more can I say? Now let me alone now. Go away, please. Frank, go away. Please. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Well, Inspector Henderson, did you hear everything?
Everything, Superman. You sure put the fear of the Lord into this scoundrel.
And how? I'm about to switch the light on, Latimer, so get ready for a little surprise.
Superman. Inspector Henderson.
Right. Now keep your hands up, Latimer. You're under arrest.
Oh, I get it now. You tricked me.
Right the first time, and we did it with nothing but a little record player.
You can't get away with it.
Keep your hands up, I said. There are 2 witnesses to your confession, Superman and myself. That's enough to send you to the chair, Latimer. Now climb into your street clothes. We're going bye-bye.
This is your Daily Planet newscaster bringing you a special bulletin. Following the amazing confession of Big George Latimer today, which resulted in the freeing of Sam Robbins, hero of Iwo Jima, Frank C. Wheeler announced his resignation as governor. The newly organized
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, gang, here's the winner in your list of famous names. It's Kellogg, the greatest name in cereals. Kellogg, as in Kellogg shredded wheat. What a treat for breakfast. Plump, tender biscuits of whole wheat, toasted just right. Full of natural nut-sweet flavor, too. And are they crisp? And here's what else you get in Kellogg shredded wheat. Grand whole wheat nutrition. Biscuits made to fit the bowl. And 15 biscuits in every package. Tell Mom you'd like Kellogg shredded wheat. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
The astute listener might recognize that we further condensed those episodes of The Adventures of Superman. If you want the full episode of Chapter 17 of George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, you need look no further than the Bat-Supe Podcast, episode number 59. But now, it's time for a condensed Bat-Supe extra helping, because, well, you gotta wrap up a story, am I right? This time, we return to Post Street in San Francisco and Sam Spade, who is about to wrap up the case of the Kandy Tooth, as we conclude this episode of Suspense, originally broadcast on January 10th, 1948.
And now, back to our Hollywood soundstage and Robert Montgomery. At the point at which we interrupted Sam Spade's narrative just now, things were at a pretty pass.
A pretty pass indeed.
A pretty pass. Sam wound up with the body of the dentist, Larry Laverne, in his apartment. The girl, Hope, waiting for him in the bus station. Casper Gutman, the fat man, waiting for an answer to his ultimatum that Spade produce the tooth or else.
Me in city prison under $20,000 bail, and the fabulous Kandy Tooth still chumping on 2-bit hamburgers and the bridge work of a very elusive man named Herman Julius.
Yes. And?
Well, after I dictated my report to Effie on what had happened until then, she left, and I laid down to think. Lieutenant Dundee and I had agreed that I should spend the night in the pokey. He figured that the 20G bail would draw only one man to put up that much moolah to spring me, Casper Gutman. Along about 9 in the a.m., the turnkey unlocked the door of my cell. I followed him out to the desk. The $20,000 were there, but no sign of benefactor, benefactress, or Samaritan of any type. The bond was in my name. I signed my release and walked out. Across the street was parked a long black limousine with the curtains drawn. I started for it when a voice at my elbow checked me.
George Senor Spade.
Si.
I'm Don Constantino de Braganza. His I who have put up the $20,000.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Now, why?
I desire a service. My card's in her.
Dom Constantino. Wait a minute.
You seem to know the name, eh?
Yeah. For a guy who's been dead 500 years, you don't look too bad.
Oh, thank you. You are referring, of course, to my illustrious ancestor, Dom Constantino, the first Portuguese viceroy of India, who indeed had been dead since the 16th century. It is on his behalf I speak to you now.
What can I do for him?
Restore the tooth which was wrenched from his skull by a pack of unspeakable ghouls who violated his tomb in Lisboa.
You think they're in San Francisco?
Let us not be naive, senor. The contemptible little dentist Laverne was killed in your apartment. Therefore, you must know the whereabouts of the other ghouls.
I know so many ghouls, senor. You'll have to be more specific.
I refer to a fat pig named C. Gutman and an odorous little camel named J. Cairo, and most especially to a woman of the female sex by name H. Laverne.
You want them or the tooth?
Both. Not one without the other.
No, it'll take a little time. They haven't got the tooth.
You know where it is?
In the bridge work of a man named Julius.
Oh. That then explains the dentist and the diabolical manner which they employed in smuggling the tooth out of Lisboa.
Now, you go on home and you stay there until I call you, huh?
Senor, I respect your judgment.
Thank you.
You will find me at the Hotel San Rafael, and for your retainer, you may consider the $20,000 bond as yours.
Wow.
Adios, senor.
Adios. Be careful crossing streets.
Adios.
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 Adios, Dom Constantino.
Adios.
Yeah, adios.
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 Mr. Spade. Sam, get in.
You, got a hack license, Miss Laverne?
Oh, please don't, Sam. I know this car's ridiculous, but I don't dare use taxis or be seen on the street. What did that man tell you?
What happened last night when you called me from the bus station in such a panic?
Why didn't you come?
I went to see the fat man.
You saw Gutman? Did he mention me?
You didn't make that call last night to get me out of the apartment so that somebody could get in and kill Laverne.
Oh, Sam.
Then why did you call?
Because I found Herman Julius, and I'm driving you there now.
We didn't do any talking after that. She sat very close to me. There was plenty to talk about, but we didn't do any talking after that. I was vaguely aware that we were driving across to Oakland, and a few minutes later we pulled up in front of an apartment building. We took the elevator up to the 9th floor.
This is it, Sam. 9B.
Nobody home.
Oh, he's in there, Sam. I know he is.
Mr. Julius? Mr. Julius?
Go away. There's no Julius here.
Oh, that's his voice.
Mr. Julius, I've got to talk to you. It's very important. If you don't open the door, I'll have to...
I'll kill myself. I'll kill myself.
He will, Sam. He will. You've got to stop him.
Go away.
Julius! Wait a minute.
No,
wait, don't!
No,
It was the 9th floor he started from. Poor, frightened little Herman Julius was dead on arrival. By the time we made it downstairs, the street was cluttered with cops. I grabbed Hope by the arm, hustled her around the corner to a rented limousine, and told her I'd call her later. My next stop was the fat man himself.
Well, sir. So you've reconsidered. You found Julius.
I know where he is.
And your terms, sir. What are your terms?
100,000, cash on the line.
Oh, out of the question, Mr. Spade.
No cash, no tooth.
You found another buyer?
Yeah. A man named Constantino de Braganza says the tooth belongs on the head of his ancestor by a previous marriage.
Oh, quaint conceits are very droll. And what else did he say to you?
That he'd double any bid that you made on the tooth.
My dear fellow, have you any inkling, any remote idea of the value of that tooth? No? Well, I'll tell you, sir. But let me warn you, if I tell you, and you do not then produce the tooth...
Yeah, let's get on with it, Gutman.
Yes. Sit down, sir. How much do you know of the 16th century history of the Orient?
About enough to fill that tooth with.
Capital joke, sir. I shall give you a little more. Enough, say, to fill an elephant tusk.
I'm listening.
Well, sir, when the Portuguese invaded India in the 16th century and established the city of Goa, there were three main empires in the Orient, namely China, India, and Burma. And the rulers of all three empires sought to rule the world. Now, legend had it that in order to become lord of the world, a monarch had first to be the possessor of 7 gems. That's gems spelled with a J, sir. Yes, gems. This is no fantasy, I'm telling you, Mr. Spade. This is actual history. 7 gems. And what were those 7 gems?
You tell me.
The first 6 do not concern us, Mr. Spade. A golden wheel, a white elephant, all easy to come by for an Oriental monarch. But the 7th, Mr. Spade, the 7th.
What was that, a tooth?
The tooth, Mr. Spade, the tooth. the sacred tooth of the great Lord Buddha himself. That remained in the temple of Maligawa at Kandy, on the island of Ceylon. Now, many kings sent armies to capture it, but all were defeated by the fierce Brahmins who stood guard at the temple gates. And so, we come to the year 1552.
It's about time.
Now, in that year, the Portuguese viceroy, Dom Constantino de Braganza, landed near Jaffna with a force of 1,220 men and defeated the king's legions in a savage battle.
Mm-hmm.
He returned to Goa with his victorious army and the tooth, which he retained as his personal pride. It was not long before the Burmese king, Bayunaung by name, sent an emissary to Dom Constantino, offering the modern equivalent of £1 million sterling as ransom for the tooth.
How'd it get to Portugal?
Oh, hear me out, sir. Hear me out.
All right.
Well, before the transaction could be consummated, the Portuguese archbishop called on Dom Constantino and, in the name of the Inquisition, demanded the tooth. After some delay, Dom Constantino, under threat of torture, delivered a tooth into the archbishop's hand, and that tooth was publicly destroyed, the archbishop grinding it into powder with mortar and pestle and scattering the residue upon a fire, that the tooth might be utterly consumed. Shortly after this, Dom Constantino's personal physician, after drawing a tooth, now mind you, a tooth, from the viceroy's head, died under very mysterious circumstances. We may safely infer that the substitute tooth which he drove into the viceroy's jawbone, after the primitive fashions of dentistry in those days, was the Kandy Tooth, put there for safekeeping until Dom Constantino could resume negotiations with Bayunaung's emissary. But before that could be accomplished, Dom Constantino was stricken with the plague, carried aboard ship, and home to Portugal, where he died. He was entombed with the Kandy Tooth still in his head. Now, the manuscript which fell into the possession of the Russian Kemidov, and later into mine, but I shall not go into unnecessary detail,
Of course not.
was Dom Constantino's deathbed confession, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that the real Kandy Tooth had reposed for more than 4 centuries, not in the great temple at Kandy in Ceylon, but in a Portuguese tomb.
Yeah, well, I think I can take it from there. You still haven't told me what my percentage is.
Well, my dear boy, if your percentage were 1/10 of 1% of what can be realized on that tooth, you could retire to a life of sloth and luxury for the rest of your days. For the restoration of the true relic, there is no limit to what the Buddhist world could and would pay. Gifts and tribute paid to one temple alone exceed $11 million a year. Now, my boy, you begin to comprehend something of its value?
I'll still settle for cash.
Very well, then. $10,000.
It's a deal.
You understand, Mr. Spade. Now that you have my secret, the affair must be gotten over quickly, for good and all. If it is not, believe me, this time I shall not bargain with you for my life. You shall bargain with me for yours.
After I left Gutman, I called you, Dundee, and found out by a clever ruse where Herman Julius's body had been sent. You told me. Then I hustled on over to the mortuary. As I walked in, a hushed young man wearing a hushed cutaway and a hushed expression greeted me.
Good evening, sir. I'm Converse Etheridge. Can I be of service?
Thank you. I've come to pay my last respects to an old friend. Can I be alone with him for a few minutes?
His name?
Julius. Herman Julius?
Oh, yes. His widow is here, sir. Mrs. Julius.
His widow, huh?
Yes, she's inconsolable. Perhaps, as a dear friend of the departed, you might give her words of comfort. Please go in.
Thank you. A little woman in black was sobbing quietly to herself. She turned around when she heard me come in. Her eyes lit up with hatred, and suddenly she grabbed something from her pocketbook and held it at me. It was a .45, and her hand was shaking.
Yeah, this time I will do it. Always before I didn't have the heart. Always hating bloodshed. But this time, yeah, this time!
Nick, Frau Julius, Freund.
You are not one of them.
No, I'm a detective. I want to punish the people responsible for your husband's death.
Yeah, I believe you. This gun, I was going to follow poor Herman. There didn't seem to be any reason for going on.
Tell me something about yourself and your husband, Mrs. Julius.
It's an old story now. Years of separation in different concentration camps. Bribery. Then my children and I, We were finally released. Came to this country. After 2 years, Herman wrote us from Lisbon. We knew soon he would be with us. But even though the war was finished, they had lost. Still they went after Herman Julius. He knew the Nazis were behind him all the time. And even here, in this country, he did not dare come to me.
Mrs. Julius, you see, those people that followed your husband this time weren't Nazis. They weren't even after him. They were after something he was carrying. In Lisbon, didn't he go to a dentist named Laverne?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
didn't Laverne put an odd-shaped tooth, kind of yellow, into his bridge work?
Yeah.
So he smuggled the Kandy Tooth out of Portugal, and he never even knew it.
Oh, well, it does not matter now. Oh, Herman is dead. Surely they will leave his poor broken body in peace.
I doubt it very much, Mrs. Julius.
No, surely they will.
That's why I want to make a request of you. You see, others have died besides your husband because of this thing. More will die unless you do as I ask you.
Oh, to stop terror. Any terror. I will do anything, Mr. Spade. Anything you say.
I told her what I wanted done, and she agreed to do it. Then I started on my part of it. I called Gutman at the St. Mark and told him 11 at my apartment. Then I called Dom Constantino at the San Rafael. Hope and I got there around 10:30. Go on in, Angel.
Well, this is where you live, Sam?
Where I sleep.
Must be lonely for you.
Sorry, no vacancy.
Sam, listen. There's so much I want to tell you about myself.
I'm listening.
Well, listen. Just before the war started, I was engaged to marry a man named Kemidov in London.
The Russian, yeah. Gutman mentioned him. Something about an old manuscript?
Yeah, Kemidov had stolen it. In India, it was very old, and Kemidov said that the information in it made it worth more than the Maltese Falcon. It was in Latin.
Mm-hmm. How'd the fat man get this manuscript away from Kemidov? So you, double-crossed Kemidov and took the manuscript to Gutman.
Sam, before they get here, I've got to tell you something. No matter what happens, I want you to know this.
Sure, I know. Say it, Angel.
Don't torture me, Sam.
I like to hear it, Angel.
Oh, Sam, I love you so much it feels like hate. It feels like I...
Go on. Hate me, Angel.
Darling. No. No, don't answer it, Sam.
Relax, Angel. You'll be okay.
Sam?
Yeah?
Only you, Sam. All I want out of... Only you.
Just stay on third, Angel. I'll bat you home safe.
You see, sir, I have a punctual man.
Come on in, Gutman.
Look, the same apartment, the same colors, everything the same.
Yeah, the same rat race, Cairo. Hello, Marvin. Killed anybody since lunch?
You want me to give it a shamus? Oh, please, Marvin. No unpleasant talk. Mr. Gutman, please tell Marvin.
In here, gentlemen.
Yes, Marvin. Mr. Spade, I'm sure, regrets the unfortunate... Well, and what have we here?
You all know the lady?
You see, Mr. Gutman, I told you. Now he's dealing with her. Oh, this is
Shut up, you hear me? Shut up.
Don't talk just like that. I'm jumpy. I don't feel good. I don't know what
You shut up, too.
Always fighting, violence, unpleasantness. I am getting too old for this.
Now, Mr. Spade, to the business at hand. You have the tooth.
I want some answers first. Did you have our dentist friend Laverne killed?
No.
Did Marvin kill Laverne?
No.
Cairo?
No.
Nobody killed Laverne. He died of old age.
Have you asked the little lady there?
Sam.
I gotta ask you, baby.
Oh, Sam, how could you?
Answer me.
No, Sam, you know I didn't.
Well, it doesn't matter. I got my pigeon picked to take the fall.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Now, Marvin, retain yourself. No violence. Well, sir,
That's it. Sit still.
I have a package from the Avalon mortuary for Mr. Spade. Oh, hello, sir.
Yeah, let's have it.
Mrs. Julius said to tell you...
Yeah, thanks. Well, Gutman, this is it. This little package. The Kandy Tooth.
The tooth, at last. Give it me, sir. Give it me.
Oh, Mr. Gutman, it's all over. We've got it. We've got it.
We have. Come, sir, no more teasing.
Put those fat lunch hooks down before I chop them off.
I rather thought this wasn't all. What now, sir?
I told you there was another bidder. And here he is.
I would advise you not to reach for your gun, Mr. Spade.
You're pointing that gun at the wrong belly. The fat man's inside. Mr. Gutman, Mr. Cairo, Dom Constantino de Braganza of Portugal.
Portugal, indeed. It's the Russian.
Kemidov.
Do not be so formal, Hope, my darling. You may call me Sergei Ivanovich.
All right, let's get off the Kopeck. We're all here.
You see,
Mr. Spade, you are an unmitigated cad, sir. You all along this man was an imposter.
That was the name he gave me.
Well, what matter? There's enough for all.
Watch yourself, Mujik. Mr. Spade, you'll please give me that package.
Now, Marvin, now!
They both had their guns into each other at once, practically. Kemidov fired first, but Marvin didn't fall. He spit out his chewing gum, then he squeezed the trigger of his .45. They both looked more surprised than anything else, but they were both very dead before they fell down.
Marvin. Dead. As dead as Kemidov. Oh, well, it was worth it. You know, of course, it was he who killed Laverne.
I told you I had my pigeon picked for the fall.
By gad, man, you are a winner.
Poor Marvin. He looks so dead.
You can have the package now.
Oh, yes. The tooth.
He seized the package with his fat little fingers. They were trembling so he could hardly undo the strings. He tore the outer wrappings, exposed a small metal jar. He looked at me and wrenched the lid off it. He dumped the contents onto the table.
The tooth, what is it? There's nothing here. But ashes, sir, ashes.
That's it, Gutman, ashes. The tooth is there, along with the rest of Herman Julius. He was cremated this afternoon.
Cremated? The tooth, it was cremated.
No, it cannot be, no.
But it is the truth. Oh, you idiot. Again you are the idiot. Why do I stay with him? Why?
Well, come, Joe. Shall we stand here weeping and bemoaning a curious quirk of fate? Or shall we defy all fates? Were we not well underway to finding the Romanov scepter when this charming lady detoured us with her romantic notions? Come. What say you, Joel, eh?
You mean we
yes,
go to...
Yes, Joel, to Samarkand.
Mr. Gutman, do not say it. He is listening.
Yes, a wise precaution. Then we go, eh?
Yes, Mr. Gutman, yes, we go.
Adieu, Mr. Spade. Oh, sound. It's like the stage of the Old Vic at the final curtain of Hamlet. Alas, poor Marvin, I knew him well. Oh, well, many slip twixt the cup and the tooth.
I let him go, Mr. Montgomery. I knew there was nothing on them that Dundee's boys could make stick. I thought twice before I let Dundee take Hope Laverne, but we both agreed it was the smart thing to do. And what do you suppose Effie said when I said, period, and a report?
Oh, Sam, for once you came out ahead. $20,000. Oh, just think of the things we can do. Pay all the bills, a year's rent on the office, have that awful old leather chair reupholstered, and a new ribbon for my typewriter.
Effie, about that typewriter ribbon.
Well, maybe I can get along on this one for a while, but, Sam, I do think we should get my mother's earrings out of Moisha's pawn shop.
Effie, I know this is going to be a terrible blow to you, but...
Sam, what did you do with the $20,000?
I put it up for bail.
Bail?
Yeah.
But that was the $20,000. And you're released so you get the money. It's very simple, Sam. You just go down and ask them for it.
Effie, you see, you don't understand these things. Now, bail is a very complex legal technicality. You see, you put up a bond, and then you...
Sam, how much was the bail for Hope Laverne?
Yeah, that's what I mean, Angel.
Oh, Sam, you're such a child. You'll never see her again. She was just using you.
I'll take it, Effie. Hello?
Angel.
Hello, kitten.
Sam, I'm free. Shall I come over?
Well, I'll always be waiting for you, kitten.
Me too, Sam.
Kitten, indeed. C-A-T. Kitten.
What's that, Angel?
Oh, forget it, Sam. I just get
Can't figure me out, eh, Angel? Well, I'll tell you. I've lived without faith, and I've lived without charity, but I've just got to have...
About here is where I say, oh, Good night, Sam.
Good night, sweetheart.
This is Robert Montgomery. I'm sure our suspense audience agrees with me when I say that whenever it is, it can't be too soon to have Sam Spade back with us again in a full-hour adventure on radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Incidentally, our producer, editor, director on these weekly full hours of suspense, Bill Spear, joins hands with Dashiell Hammett to bring you the adventures of Sam Spade each Sunday night on this network.
Thanks for the plug, Bob. I have a basket full of thanks to my friend Howard Sam Duff, the kind of actor a director lights candles for, and to wonderful Lorene Tuttle, who plays Effie each week, and to Joseph Kearns, who is the Caspar Gutman of them all, and to all you other ornaments to your profession. Kathy Lewis, Wally Mayer, Jay Novello, Jeanette Nolan, Jack Edwards Jr., Sidney Miller, Hans Conried, and Bill Johnston. And, of course, as always, to our musical director and conductor, Led Gluskin, and to the composer of our original scores, Lucien Morawek.
And our special thanks to Bob Tolman and Jason James, who wrote The Kandy Tooth, and who were voted by their fellow mystery writers of America the Edgar Allan Poe Award for Sam Spade, the best detective show on the air.
And to the Wild Root Company, a gracious sponsor of SAME, for this courtesy and cooperation in making tonight's Spadery available. Now tell about next week, Bob.
Next week, we will bring you another great American master of suspense, the author of The Postman Always Rings Twice and Double Indemnity, James M. Cain. It's a full hour of Mr. Cain's very wonderful novel, Love's Lovely Counterfeit. This is Robert Montgomery, who will welcome you once again next week to radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Don't forget, next week at this same time, a full hour of Suspense. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well, that'll wrap up this episode of Condensed Bat-Supe and the adventure George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss from The Adventures of Superman. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we bring you our next storyline, The Knights of the White Carnation, and another fine extra helping. Until then, up, and away!
There are few of us who have not, at one time or another, had the sensation of reliving an experience which is actually new to us. Indeed, so common is this phenomenon that among psychologists it has acquired a technical name. But there is, on record, one case of a man who actually was familiar with a world that was new and strange.
It was business that took George Lawton to England in the spring of 1914. But after he had spent a few days in London, he succumbed to the temptation to visit his friend, Paul Bixby, who made his home in the historic old town of York. Lawton had never visited York before, and so almost as soon as he arrived, Bixby insisted on taking him for a long walk. He wanted most of all to show him the famous cathedral, known as the Minster.
We're not terribly far from it now. I know you want to see it, George. You probably know it by the name of St. Paul's Cathedral. Is that how they refer to it in the States? I say, George, do they refer to it as St. Paul's in the States? George!
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't listening.
What's the matter with you, old boy? You seem so distracted.
It's a crazy thing, Bixby. This feeling I have, as if everything around here were familiar. I could swear I've been here before. I'm absolutely sure I know this town. Why, I could find my way from one end of it to the other.
Don't be absurd, George. You couldn't find your way from here to the Minster. There are all sorts of twists and turns before we get there.
Well, I won't get lost. Watch me. And with that, George Lawton started off ahead of his friend. So quickly did he move, and with such absolute certainty, that Bixby found it difficult to keep pace with him. Down winding streets he went, and through crooked alleys. And when at last he came to a halt, he was standing at the old west door of the Minster. And Bixby, coming up to him breathless from exertion, gasped,
"By George, that's amazing. How on earth did you manage to do it?"
But Lawton was not paying very close attention to his friend. His eyes were fixed on a corner a half block down the street, a corner occupied only by a vacant lot.
Whatever happened to the inn, Bixby? The one that used to be on that corner down there.
There never was an inn there. At least, not that I can recall.
But there must have been some time or other. I remember it distinctly.
Later that afternoon, the two men sat in a dusty corner of the public library, huddled over an old map of the city. With eager fingers, they located the Church of St. Paul's, and then they followed the line of the street westward to the nearest corner. And there, they found a legend, written in very small script.
Site of the Golden Ox. Famous old inn. Destroyed by fire in 1628.
And so George Lawton, who had never been to York before, found that he not only knew his way around the streets, but that he even remembered a building which had not been there for almost 300 years. Is it absurd to suggest that this was actually his second visit to York? That in some former life he may even have been a resident of the ancient city? Perhaps it seems absurd. And yet what other explanation can be offered for this baffling mystery? A mystery incredible but true.